Darts Witch Doctor build. While the Dagger of Darts Witch Doctor build is not the best Witch Doctor build for Season 20, it is extremely fun to play. So, what will you need is the full 6-piece bonus of the Zunni set, which we will achieve by equipping 5 pieces and putting a Ring of Royal Grandeur in our cube. Now, what does the Zunni set do for you? 2-piece bonus. Your fetish army lasts until they die, and the cooldown of fetish army is reduced by a bunch. The 4-piece bonus. You and your pets take 3% less damage for every fetish you have alive. So that'll give you toughness. That's one reason we're going to want as many fetishes as we can. And the 6-piece bonus. Enemies hit by your mana spenders take 15,000% increased damage from your pets for 8 seconds. Now, what else are you going to need? You're also going to need the Endless Walk set. That's the Traveler's Pledge and the Compass Rose. This will give us toughness when we're moving and damage and more damage when we're standing still. So when we're running away, we'll have toughness. But when we're attacking, we'll have increased damage. Next, you're going to need the Akhild's Authority set. 2 pieces of it. We're going to need the wrists and the shoulders. Now, what does the Akhild set do for you? The Akhild set will give you toughness and damage against all enemies, and in particular against elites. Now, we're going to have to sacrifice 2 pieces of Zunnis. Our helm and our pants. Now, for the helm, you're going to need either a Mask of Jerem or a Carnival. You're going to need both of those, but you're going to end up cubing the one that is worse. So, because the Mask of Jerem rolls on a range, whereas the Carnival does not. Now, so the Mask of Jerem makes your pets do more damage, a lot more damage. Your Carnival is mandatory for this build. It makes it so that the 10 closest fetishes to you shoot a powerful poison dart whenever you do. Next, we're going to need the Depth Digger's Pants. We're going to be using a primary skill, so we're going to need to... So this will make that deal more damage. Now, for your belts, there isn't really a belt that goes with this belt. So your best bet is need any particular power. Next, we're going to need a Dagger of Darts. You're going to need... So, your poison darts and your fetish's poison darts now pierce and deal a bunch more damage. For your cube, you're going to need that Ring of Royal Grandeur and either the Carnival or the Mask of Jerem, whichever one rolls worse. For your weapon, you're going to be for your weapon slot in your cube, you're going to be taking the Echoing Fury. This enables you to gain attack speed whenever you kill an enemy. This will give us a bunch of attack speed. Back to the skills, we'll come back to the gems and the and the stats you want on every piece of gear once we go over the skills. First thing you need is Poison Dart, Spined Dart. It must be Spined Dart. This is what enables our Spined Dart to be a generator and will therefore activate our Depth Digger's Pants. Next, we're going to want to take Fetish Army, Legion of Daggers. Legion of Daggers gives us 3 more fetishes. For this build, we want as many fetishes as we can, and this gives us the most. Next, we're going to be taking Spirit Walk, and the rune can either be Severance or Jaunt. They both basically do the same thing. One gives you more movement speed, and the other gives you more duration on it. It ends up doing about the same thing. Next, we're going to be taking Horrify, Frightening. Next, we're going to be taking Purinado. This is what will activate our 6-piece of Zunnis. Our 6-piece bonus of Zunnis. Then the best support, and Piranha's Purinado has always been the best support skill the Witch Doctors have since it came out. It pulls enemies, it crowd controls enemies and makes them take more damage. It really is the best one. Next, finally, we'll be taking Soul Harvest, Languish. This will give us more toughness and slow down enemies whenever we harvest them. Now, for our passives, we're going to be taking Confidence Ritual. We deal more damage to enemies that are within 20 yards. Next, we're going to be taking Fetish Sycophants. Every time we hit with one of our spells, we have a 15% chance to summon a fetish for 60 seconds. And our fetishes are going to be doing most of our damage, so we want as many of those guys as we can. Next, we're going to be taking Spirit Vessel for an extra life. And finally, Grave Injustice. This will enable us to gain life, mana, and reduce cooldowns by 1 second every time an enemy dies within 20 yards. This is, and we're going to want pickup radius on as much of our gear as we can so that we get this no matter where enemies are. Alright, now for the stats you want on every piece of gear. For your shoulders, intelligence, life, area damage, Fetish Army damage. Yes, go by what I say, not what's on here. For your chest, intelligence, vitality, Fetish Army damage. For your helm, intelligence, vitality, crit chance. For your amulet, attack speed, crit. For your bracers, poison skill damage, intelligence, vitality, crit chance. Now you may be wondering why we take poison skill damage here, since we're not taking a poison rune on poison darts. Well, we won't be shooting poison darts, but our fetishes will, and there's a lot more of them than us, so they're going to be doing a lot more damage. So we want to increase that damage. We don't want to increase our damage, we want to increase that damage. For your offhand, raw damage, intelligence, vitality, crit chance, damage versus elites, and Fetish Army damage. For our compass rose, intelligence, attack speed, crit. For our Zunni's ring, attack speed, crit. For our boots, intelligence, vitality, all resist armor. For our pants, intelligence, vitality, poison dart damage. For our witching hour, we want intelligence, attack speed, crit damage, poison dart damage. And finally, for our dagger of darts, we want raw damage, intelligence, attack speed, area damage. Now, for our gems, in our weapon, we want a emerald. This will give us more crit damage. In our helm, we want a diamond for cooldown reduction. For our chest and our pants, if you want more damage, go with topazes. If you want more toughness, go with either rubies or emeralds. Now, the thing with intelligence builds is that our intelligence is going to give us a bunch of all resist. So we're going to need to. So we need armor. That's why we take rubies or emeralds instead of diamonds in our pants and our chest. Now, I also have a slot in my offhand, so I chose to put an emerald in there for more toughness. Now, for our legendary gems, we need simplicity, strength. Going to need, so that's going to increase this damage. We're mainly using a primary skill, so that's going to increase that damage. We're also going to need a Bane of the Trapped. This best gem in the game by far. It increases the effects. It increases our damage against crowd-controlled enemies, and once you get it up to level 25, it even activates itself, which is pretty awesome. Then we have the Enforce. Are going to be doing the bulk of our damage, so we want to increase that. We want to increase our pet damage since that's the bulk of our damage. And that's going to wrap up this video. If you like what you see, and come back for more Diablo content.